Recently, I once again decided to embark on another raw denim experiment, where basically I took my brand new rinsed or one-wash raw denim shirt and I literally wore it every day for exactly 1 month just to see what would happen to it, just to see how it would age. Would it start to fade? Would the blues start to get brighter? Would it start to bag out at the elbows, much like how raw denim sometimes gets a little bag at the knees? I just really wanted to have fun with it and just kind of see exactly what was going to happen after a month of continuous everyday wear, because I've definitely seen raw selvage denim jackets and raw selvage denim jeans actually start to display fading, indigo bleed, dye bleed at about 1.5 months of daily wear, sometimes even sooner depending on the weight. And this was my first ever raw denim shirt that I've ever purchased. Granted, it is a rinsed or a one wash, which I've been really gravitating towards recently just because it removes a lot of the excess dye as well as the starches and even the shrinkage as well. But rinsed or one wash denim is still raw in a sense where it is going to fade down beautifully over time, just like any other raw denim garment. So like I said, this is my first ever raw denim shirt that I've ever purchased, and it's from a brand that I've really been feeling recently called Wythe New York, or Wythe New York. I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced, but I have so many of their shirtings in my collection, as well as a brand new pair of shoes that I can't wait to show you guys. Video on that coming out soon. But basically, this is a gorgeous Western shirt inspired by a vintage denim shirt that they found and they wanted to replicate, but kind of modernize it for 2023 and 2024. This denim shirt has an immaculate character, absolutely beautiful mother of pearl, French blue pearl snap buttons, a really interesting back Western yoke that definitely looks really annoying to sew, and a gorgeous 3-button cuff, which I really love because it actually accentuates and displays the French blue of the pearl snaps very nicely. And when speaking to Peter Middleton at Wythe in their NYC pop-up store, he told me that this shirt is going to fade down gorgeously. It's actually rope dyed with natural indigo, or at least I believe natural indigo, and I decided that I wanted to size up, which he helped me determine what the best size was because I wanted to wear it as an overshirt, not necessarily just as a standalone shirt. So the size up definitely looks amazing for the purpose that I'm using it for. So they do run nicely true to size. So if you do end up picking up one of these, you definitely want to make sure that you take a look at the size chart and see what's best for you. But anyways, when I got this shirt, I decided I was going to wear this shirt every day for 1 month and just kind of see where it took me. And a lot of you guys on my TikTok already know about this. You've seen me wear it in basically every OOTD that I've done. Some of you have been asking me what's going on with the shirt. Well, today I finally washed the shirt and I have some conclusive thoughts that might actually surprise you. But why don't we first take a look at the shirt before it's actually been washed. When I first got this shirt, it had this really gorgeous dark, very almost dressy kind of indigo because it had this really immaculate shine to it. It definitely was not like a dead indigo, which I've seen a lot of darker indigo shirts, darker indigo raw denim jackets, raw denim jeans start to look when they have such a dark color. But because of the factory rinse that Wythe gave this shirt, this raw denim shirt actually has a really gorgeous blue character to it that's still very dark, yet it has a lot of personality to it. It's got a really silky smooth feel. I expected it to be a lot more rugged than what it actually was. And basically the ethos of Wythe is that they want to provide garments that already feel lived in, that already feel worn. But with this, they still wanted something that you could break into yourself personally, much like any other raw denim shirt. And I think they struck a perfect balance between something that felt worn in, but something that you could still break in yourself. And they also had a wash or sun faded version that I saw that I might end up picking up because I do really love the color of that. But I definitely wanted this one first. And I gotta say, I'm definitely not disappointed at all. I really love the way that the shirt fits. I actually love how it fits a little bit longer in the back than it does on the front. It's got a nice kind of straight fit. The sleeves fall perfectly for me. And over time, over the course of the month, the denim actually started to soften up very nicely. As the denim started to soften up, I noticed as I was hanging the shirt, it actually started to shed its own wrinkles, its own creases, namely the honeycombs, the back of the elbows, the back of the shirt, even the front. And I wore the shirt tucked in a lot. But this cotton is really something that's truly remarkable because it literally, if I hung it overnight, would look like I ironed it actually the next morning. So this is kind of like a gift and a curse because for denim heads who want a really nice creased up, very heavy contrast in their raw denim shirts, you're probably not going to get that with this. But for someone who hates wrinkles and for someone who also hates ironing the shirts, this is definitely one of the most perfect denim shirts for you. Wythe really keeps vintage and heritage style at heart and wants these garments to age naturally. They want them to look natural and they don't want to really fabricate anything, much like high contrast fades do. Raw selvage denim that's been high contrast faded really is not natural, and while yes, it does look beautiful, it's just not real. That doesn't happen naturally to someone who's a raw denim wearer who's trying to get that kind of fade. And that's why the old vintage Levi's never really had super high contrast fades. They had more of an all-around faded jean or raw denim shirt or raw denim jacket that had this really incredible sky blue and a nice slubby character to it. And that's exactly what White New York really wants to achieve with this kind of rinsed, or rather one wash raw denim shirt. So yes, I think the raw denim shirt is gonna fade and continue to fade after more wash and more wear, because like I said, I did wash the shirt, but it's definitely gonna be more of that vintage, very heritage kind of fade. And that's what I'm all about recently. So yeah, like I said, with the honeycombing, it was really kind of hard for it to hold its shape when I wasn't wearing the shirt, just because of the lack of starch and the real silky, soft kind of feel of the shirt. But what was interesting is I did actually notice a vertical fade line from the shirt when it was folded, or at least I'm assuming that it got it while it was folded in shipping or importing or whatever. So I definitely was given a clue that this shirt was gonna fade down, and you could actually still see it on the sleeve, or I think it was on the front of the sleeve head, and it is a clear indication that this is a raw denim shirt that is gonna fade gorgeously. But anyways, going back to the design of the shirt, I really love the very full, very pointed collar points, as well as the shape. It's very shapely. I think it works perfectly for an overshirt, because I think with the spread collar, it kind of would have looked stupid. It has a really nice Western yoke on the front, on the top of the shoulder points. And again, I love the construction of the placket with the pearl snap buttons, as well as the pockets with the pearl snap buttons too. And I love how large the flap is, which you really don't see on a lot of the newer Western shirts. You see a little bit more of a kind of like a smaller flap. This flap is definitely very full and allows for a really nice display of that blue pearl snap button. The denim is very dark, and again, it has this really nice shine. It doesn't have too much slub at this point. It's definitely one of the more cleaner raw denim shirts that I've seen, which is fine because I think that it's easily wearable with a lot of different things, and it plays so nicely with layering as well. Again, I really love the cuff and the sleeve placket featuring those beautiful French blue pearl snaps, as well as the 3-button cuff, which you really don't see. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this stuff gets really expensive when you get down to the details of how much they cost. So for them to make that decision and say, I want 3 buttons on the cuff is really remarkable, because it costs them extra money to do. And lastly, if we take a look at the back, you can see that it has this really interesting Western yoke on the back of the shirt that's got these really nice points that you would otherwise see more of a rounded to center back curve. Here you have a lot of different curves, a lot of different points that again just really set this shirt apart and make for a really nice, unique raw denim shirt. And other than that, the back is otherwise clean. And again, you can't really see any fading. It hasn't really held too many marks, too many crease lines. Even on the back of the elbows, which I got the most wear on, you really don't see anything. And I've been wearing this shirt consistently layered, sometimes as just a solo jacket, a couple of times as a standalone shirt too. But as you can see on the front of the sleeve and on the back, because of the very super light nature of this shirt, you're really not getting that fading. So once the month was up, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna wash the shirt. So I washed the shirt and something really interesting happened. Once I washed the shirt, I immediately noticed that the denim felt significantly heavier than what it was when I first threw the garment on, when I first started wearing it. And this is very normal when it comes to regular raw selvage denim jackets or raw selvage denim jeans and raw selvage denim shirts. But it wasn't just the extra starchiness that you usually get. It felt almost as though the cotton really absorbed the water and developed a really nice dense body to it, because it definitely feels a little crispier than what it was. And not only that, but you really start to see a lot of grain and a lot of slub out of nowhere, which you didn't see before. And granted, I'm not gonna lie, the shirt really didn't change all that much at all. It didn't fade in the honeycombs, it didn't fade on the elbows, let's just get that straight. But what I am saying, the shirt has changed overall. And not only that, but there are some places where the shirt did fade in very subtle points, but it's all about the whole uniform integrity of the shirt that changed once I gave it that first wash. The first thing I noticed is that there definitely is a lot of that slub, as well as a lot of indigo dye runoff, especially towards the top of the shirt and at the top of the sleeve head. The indigo is starting to get really splotchy and really vibrant, which is something that I really do love, because at the end of the day, I love these vibrant, brighter blues, and I just love denim for what it is, not what it's gonna be. I really love to see that denim kind of take its color at all these different corners, all these different seams. Even on the back panel, you see it quite a lot, and you see a little bit of it at the top of the shoulder point on the back panel of the yoke. And granted, while you don't see it too much in the shade, you definitely see a lot of the denim's true color essence in the sunlight, where it really starts to shine. And again, after this wash, you have even more of that really high quality luxury kind of sheen to it, and it actually feels like it's holding its structure very nicely now. It is definitely a lot brighter of a blue than before the wash, even after about a month. And I'd say a couple of the key points where the denim actually started to fade was more so at the cuff as well as the back of the collar, and I believe at the collar points as well, just a little bit. Yeah, you could also see at the hem that it's actually starting to pucker up, much like how a roping on a chain stitch pair of raw denim actually starts to pucker. This shirt is actually replicating that kind of sentiment, and while it hasn't faded yet, I think it's gonna fade down beautifully with more wash, more wear, more abrasion, especially considering the fact that I actually wear this tucked in quite a lot. And I think it's gonna make for some really interesting fades. All in all, I really love White New York, and I especially love this shirt. This is one of my most worn shirts. Well, obviously after the past month, but I think that it's going to continue to be one of my most worn shirts because it literally works with everything. It's definitely a men's staple. And I really love White's shirting, and I just love the brand because when I walked into the store, everybody was helpful. The brand owner was there working with the staff despite all the other things that he was doing, and that's something that I really respect about Peter Middleton. So definitely shout out to Peter, and thank you so much for your help. He really is a nice, great guy, and I love his clothes. I mean, he makes great stuff. But with that being said, I don't think 1 month is enough to fade any denim shirt that's under, let's say, 15, 16 ounces. Now that I've drawn that conclusion after having worn this, I believe, again, 10-ounce raw denim shirt for a month straight. And you know what? It was fun while it lasted, and I really do love the way that the shirt is coming out anyways. And yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance to check out White New York, definitely make sure to check this stuff out because they have some really interesting heritage-inspired garments with a little bit of a modern Americana feel. I love this stuff. I have like 4 or 5 of their shirts hanging right back here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the love and support. And for those of you who came from TikTok and wanted to see this raw denim shirt video, I love and appreciate you guys so much, especially. Welcome to the family. We have a beautiful community over here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. And I really love the feedback that a lot of you guys have been giving me recently. I've been trying to change up the music a lot, and I've also been trying to add new different types of B-roll, as well as just change the way that the video is edited out. So this way it's not so daunting to listen to, especially since I've been trying to push to longer videos and stuff like that. And trust me, I get it. And listen, I've been listening to you guys. I am very receptive to that feedback, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. Keep the feedback coming. I really appreciate it. Any ideas that you have, I'm always happy to listen. Or just drop down in the comments and let us know how your day's been. Let us know what you're doing. I really want to help build the community and just make something that's exciting, not just for me, but also for you guys, because I'm having a lot of fun and I feel like we could really build a real dope community together. So with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.